Fellow comrades, this is Comrade Lehman. I've been reading a lot, and I decided that it's good I make this presentation, just a scratch, so that Ambazonians have an understanding of what we are going through. So I want to explain to us why this conflict we are going through with La République du Cameroon is called a conflict of state succession. It is very important that we get this straight, because many a times I see Ambazonians struggling to explain what is going on, why we are fighting, and make a case that we are not separatists or secessionists. And when they ask them, so what kind of conflict are you in? They are unable to answer. So I want to make this very easy for us. I will not try to use big words, so that all of us we can understand exactly what is going on and explain it in our own ways. So, as we all know, in 1960, January 1st, La République du Cameroon, which was a UN trust territory, got its independence, with its borders with Central Africa, Gabon, Equatorial Guinea, Chad, Nigeria, the trust territory of Northern Cameroon, and the trust territory of Southern Cameroons. So in 1961, the Republic of Southern Cameroon got its independence, with its border with La République du Cameroon, Nigeria, and I think Equatorial Guinea. Now, the problem is the Northern Cameroon, which was supposed to be our brothers in the north, they had voted to join Nigeria. Now, the difference is they did not join Nigeria as a separate autonomous entity. They voted to join Nigeria as an integral part of Nigeria. So it is good we take that case out, so that we understand the difference between the Republic of Southern Cameroons and La République du Cameroon. So while we were preparing to get our independence, recognized by the United Nations, our people were asked to vote to decide if we'll get our independence in a confederacy with Nigeria or with La République du Cameroon. What made our case different is because we were not asked to integrate. It was not joining by integration, as Northern Cameroon did with Nigeria. We were asked to join Nigeria or La République du Cameroon in a separate autonomous countries or independent country coming together. That is the good thing our parents did to us that we did not really know. And all good intentions do not always take us to heaven. Our people say the road to hell is full of good intentions, which is exactly what happened to us. Now, let me come back to the concept of state succession. So state succession simply means two states with two separate sovereignty, if they agree to come together to form a new country, the process of state succession has occurred. The two states that came together become the predecessor states. The new state that was created becomes a successor state. That is what the concept of state succession means. So on the 1st of October 1961, the process of state succession occurred. Two sovereign states, the Republic of Southern Cameroon and the Republic of Cameroon, came together and formed a new country. The new country was called the Federal Republics of Cameroon, or the United Federal Republics of Cameroon. Now, a lot of people get lost here because they still think that we joined La République du Cameroun. No, we did not join them. Two countries came together and formed a new country. The proof is in your birth certificates. All birth certificates that were made from 1961, that is 1st of October 1961 to 1972, all had the name of that country. You can go and check. If you have not changed and have a Kumba birth certificate, you should be able to prove me wrong or right. Check on your birth certificate. The country that was created now became the successor states known as the Federal Republics of Cameroon, or as they call it, the United Federal Republics of Cameroon. So there were what they call bylaws that govern these two countries, that stated how the relationship between the two federated states was going to be. Those were two states of equal status. You had the Republic of Southern Cameroons and the Republic of Cameroons. Article 56 of that bylaw, which was the United Federal Republic's constitution, clearly stated the two entities that got into this union. And to make sure that the smaller country, which was the Republic of Southern Cameroons, was protected, Article 47 of that agreement stated that the federal nature of the state, of the new country created, could never be altered. And it did not stop there, because Article 1 had defined who the people of this country were, making it clear that there were two separate people. The people of West Cameroon, who were the people from the Republic of Southern Cameroons, and the people of East Cameroon, who were the people of La République du Cameroun. And now, so the sovereignty of these two countries used to be in these two people. So when they came and they merged it, the sovereignty now was delegated to their representatives at the federal level. So at the Federal Assembly, La République du Cameroun brought their sovereignty. The citizens there voted and gave their deputies the right to, the mandate to exercise their sovereignty. The citizens of the Republic of Southern Cameroons, known as the people of West Cameroon, voted and gave their deputies the mandate to exercise their sovereignty at the Federal Assembly. What happened? 1966, I guess. That is when Ahidjo started testing the waters by destroying the multi-party system in his country which was La République du Cameroon, and then somehow he went over and said, hey, the Republic of Southern Cameroon also had to dissolve their parties. Now, this was a problem. This was a violation of the federal constitution. Okay? What happened? Our people kept quiet. And now, this is the truth about it. The Southern Cameroon Prime Minister kept quiet because it favored him. Since he had a parliamentary system, and for him to be Prime Minister, he had to win the legislative election. Now, he did not need to go through that because they had only one party. This is why our Prime Minister did not say a word when the multi-party system was dissolved. He could have stood up and said, no, we have a different system from you guys. You cannot ban multipartyism because we are a parliamentary system. He kept quiet. Why am I bringing this up? I want our people to understand that when you play wayo, as we talk, it come back for you. Now, it did not stop there. France advised Ahidjo to eliminate the federal system altogether because they had discovered oil and they wanted to put their hands on it. Because now, based on the arrangement, the federal government could not take all the oil. They could only take a bit of it. But because they were greedy, they wanted everything. That is why they tried to terminate the new country that was created in 1961. So they went through a system of fraudulent referendum that violated Article 1, Article 2, and Article 47 of the United Federal Republics. Remember that Article 47 had clearly stated that no amendment can be made that alters the federal form of states, and that there were two states pursuant to Article 56, the Republic of Southern Cameroon and the Republic of Cameroon. And Article 2 of that same constitution had clearly stated that the sovereignty of the Federal Republic lies in the hands of the people. And remember that the people had earlier on been defined in Article 1, stating that there are two people. So each people had to organize their referendum separately. And it could still not work because they could not form a more united federal republics because Article 47 prevented any further union. So they violated it, made the false referendum, dissolved the Federal Assembly, dissolved the Federal Supreme Court, dissolved the Federal Executive, and then now implanted a fake United Cameroon's Republic. Now, because it was an unconstitutional amendment, it means it was void ab initio. It was null and void ab initio. So the new unitary state that was created from 1972 had already been illegal. The unitary court created was illegal. It had no power. So the executive and the parliament that was created subsequently by that illegal law was null and void ab initio. Now, this is the trick that they played. Since they dissolved the court and put up a fake court could not receive a constitutional case because it was illegal itself. All our people needed to do was simply walk out of that assembly, go back and go to the UN, that the United Federal Republics no longer exist, we are out. But they did not. Why did Gonji Dinka not, and the Funchas, the Bernard Fallon, and all the rest, why did they not stand up in 1972 when the Federal Union was decapitated? Only them and their ancestors and their conscience know what they did. I don't know. Were they bribed? Were they scared? Why? Why could they not stand up? Now, so when this happened, now the second phase of state succession occurred. So because the new country that was created, called the United Federal Republics, was decapitated and went extinct, the Republic of Southern Cameroon was supposed to re-emerge, and La République du Cameroun was supposed to re-emerge. But a fake country called the United Cameroons Republic came up. Now you see where we had the problem. Fast forward. So in 1984, when the name was changed, no law was violated. It was an act of parliament, which was okay. Because the law was violated in 1972, not in 1984. Gonji Dinka argued the case properly, but he did not want to tell the exact date. The exact date was 1972, when the conflict of state succession occurred. So the reason we can now say that effectively we are in a conflict of state succession is because the Republic of Southern Cameroons and La République du Cameroun are now in a war. They want to go their separate ways. It is up to us to understand how to articulate this problem. Why am I saying so? There is the same thing that France attempted in Senegambia. There used to be a confederacy in Senegambia where an English-speaking minority and a French-speaking majority called Senegal, they came and they formed a confederacy, same as we did in 1961. The reason was because Gambia was a smaller country that was economically less viable than Senegal. They used the same argument that Gambia can benefit more by joining Senegal in a confederacy, which they did. I think that was 1983 or somewhere around that. And they formed the Senegambia. 1989, I think. It's not 87, it's 89. Abdou Diouf, the president of Senegal, came up and said, they need to form a better union. You remember what they told us, our parents, in 1972? That they need to form a better union. Guess what? The Gambian politicians said, nope, we are not forming a better union. And guess what? Abdou Diouf had no other choice than to let Gambia go their way and Senegal go its way. So today, we are now faced with a situation where we are fighting a war that could have been averted. But now, this is a bigger problem that we are facing. We are fighting this war, but a cross-section of our people want to remain with La République. Why do I say so? Our brothers are still parliamentarian in La République. Our brothers have accepted senatorial position in La République. These guys were voted by some Ambazonians. We have to be honest about it. And now, when the international community sees that, they understand that our people still want to stay as Cameroonians. They want to remain with La République. Now, that is why we have been pushing that Ambazonians should come together and tell the international community that, listen, We are united. We want to leave La République. Those Ambazonians in La République are there by coercion. If you don't believe us, let us agree to a ceasefire. We want a third-party country to come in. You understand? Let a third-party country come in, or third-party countries or the UN agree and be part of this ceasefire. Once La République pull out their military, we will demilitarize the Amber Boys, allow our people to come back, but you guys have to guarantee us that nothing is going to happen. La République is not going to come back with their military and their gendarmes and kill us. So you guys have to create a buffer zone on our territory. Take the guns away from Amber Boys, and you guys bring your peacekeeping forces as guarantee. Let the international community help us. We organize an exclusive referendum just for the people of the Republic of Southern Cameroons. Given the historical facts, we have the vote at the UN, Resolution 1608, to prove it. This is not up for argument. Now, once the international community comes in with a peacekeeping force, they will have to build airports, which those refugees who are far and near, Nigeria, Ghana, US, Europe, can fly in and land without going through La République. When they come in, we will build polling stations, and then the people will exercise their right to self-determination. When this right to self-determination has been exercised by the people of the Republic of Ambazonia, that is all the indigenes from that region, they will count the vote, and also it is going to decide on the representatives to go and represent us to now negotiate with La République legally. When that happens, that is when a negotiated political settlement kicks in. A negotiated political settlement is only done by the representative of the people, elected representatives, democratically elected representatives, because their signature matter. Self-appointed individuals and groups cannot negotiate on behalf of our citizens. This should be common knowledge. So when people keep saying that they want a negotiated political settlement, you ask them, under what capacity do you want to go and sit on that table? Do you have the mandate of the people? Were you elected as a deputy of the people to speak on their behalf? So your signature carries no weight because you are not a representative of the people. You are just an activist. So I don't want to go long. I hope this little clarification is going to help some of us to understand why we have to come together in our various host countries and lobby for a ceasefire, ask for the guarantor or the UN to come in with a peacekeeping force, demilitarize the zone, and let our refugees and exile come back in, and the IDPs. We conduct a census where everybody is going to state where they come from, your parents' name and everything, and your eligibility, and then they register you and give you your voting card. Then that is when we can now vote and exercise our right to self-determination, if we want to restore the Republic of Southern Cameroons or not. That is as easy as it is. So when people want to talk, I want them to quote the legal concept they are using to present their solutions or the alternatives. Thank you guys very much. I hope you will have the patience to listen.